What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Shop Mini RC. I'm Ken, and today we're looking at this. This is a SCX10.3. We snagged one of these guys up when they were on sale for like 300 bucks. Man, that was a killer deal on this guy. We got a couple little upgrades on there, just some metal here and there. Nothing big, but today we're going to do something big. We're throwing in this Furitek system. This is the new Python X for the 1/10 scale, and then this is a Komodo 10. This is a 2500 kV. They do sell a combo, and that combo comes with both the Python X and the Komodo 10, but it's the 2000 kV. We have the 2500, so you can buy them separate or buy them as a combo, however you want to do it, whatever works best for you. But we're going to dive into getting that guy installed in this guy. We got to take it to Proline literally this week. We've got like 3 days, so we got to bang this guy out. I don't know if this video will be done by then, but we're at least doing the install right now, and then we'll edit it maybe while we're at Proline or when we get back. I don't know, whatever. Here it is. Here we go. Let's get at it. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell if you end up liking this video. We appreciate it. Let's dive into this thing. We got the micro, or not micro, what am I thinking? If you don't know Furitek, they are known for their micro Komodo. It is the top, basically #1 selling. I mean, I don't have these numbers, but I almost guarantee it, because when you go online, you look, the most common brushless system is the micro Komodo, hands down. I mean, there are other systems out there that are also very good, but the micro Komodo motor is hands down the #1 brushless motor out there. And then almost everybody's running the Python Pro, Python, Lizard Pro, or Lizard Ultimate in their system, in their little mini trucks. So now Furitek's doing the 1/10 stuff, and I am excited to show this off. It's got all the same features as the little guys, which means it's got Bluetooth, it's got on-the-fly adjustability from your phone, a lot of Bluetooth, ESCs. You can read them, then you have to make your changes, and then you have to save it, and then it resets. But the Furitek stuff, it literally changes on the fly, which is awesome. So here's our Python X. Here's our little Bluetooth. What do we got here? Our on and off switch, receiver, battery, and there's our motor wires. Very small, very compact. I dig that. Does this all plug into one plug? That's interesting. Looks like the Bluetooth and the power switch is all on one plug. All right. Just a little bit of info on this guy. Basically, the ESC is 2 to 4S capable, which is pretty sweet. It's also got a selectable internal BEC, which you can go from 5.5 volt all the way up to 8.4 volt on the app, on the fly. If you need to change it quickly, you can. It's got a constant current of 80 amps, a burst current of 120, removable on and off switch. So if you don't want to use an on and off switch and it's just always on when you plug it in, you can do that. And it's tiny, guys. It's 1.7 inches by 1 inch by 0.4 inches. So pretty good. Or 45 by 25 by 10 millimeters. That's it. And it only weighs 41 grams or 1.4 ounces. Pretty slick. Now this motor again comes in a 2500 kV and a 2000 kV. This guy here is the 2500. It's no load current at 7.4 volts is 3 amps. It's an 800 watt motor. Has a resistance of 0.02 ohms. Max current's at 53 amps. It's a 12 slot 14 pole. And its size is 35 by 33.5 millimeters. And what's the stator size here? 2815 stator size. And the weight comes in at 3.6 ounces or 103 grams. Okay. Some of the best features on the Furitek stuff is the FOC, or Field Oriented Control Technology, and the live tuning on the Furicar app. Super, super awesome. It's my favorite part of the Furitek stuff. Also, they are able to update pretty quickly if there's any kind of issues or people want new features and they want to throw that out there. Those features are updatable through the app. Again, you don't have to connect anything, just connects through the Bluetooth. It works with brushless or brush. So if you wanted to run this ESC with a brushed motor, you could. You just change it in the app. It's also got audible alerts such as motor over temperature and low voltage cutoff, so it can do that. And yeah, tons of great stuff. Over temperature protection, max current protection, real-time telemetry up to 10 hertz. It's full of all the features you would ever want. It's pretty sick. This is an XT60, so if you're going to be running an XT60, you're good to go here. If you need to change it, you can swap out your cable end. Furitek does recommend their motors, obviously, but they also recommend a couple others. Here's a list of all the different motors they suggest for both outrunners and the inrunners. They even have like the revolver on there and the crawl masters and 10 shooter and all that kind of stuff. So they have a bunch of stuff they know works with it that they've tried with, and yeah, that's good to know. All right, guys, so here's what we're working with. It's the SCX10.3 early Bronco. It's running all the stock Firma brushed electronics. We're going to keep the same shift servo and steering servo for now, but eventually we'll upgrade the steering servo for sure. This guy we probably won't upgrade until we need to. And actually this is a dig, not shift. So the dig servo. You will have to get a new transmitter and receiver if you're going to upgrade or add your brushless to a truck that has like a 2-in-1 combo, which is what this guy has here. And it does not have a channel 2. So unfortunately you can't just plug in your new brushless into there. So we're going to get all this ripped out and then we'll get the new stuff in. Ta-da! So as simple as that, you just pop it all out. This is the motor mount. So we're going to put the same pinion back on. So we're going to mount the motor on the same spots, which is going to be, looks like the 14. So we should be good. So this pinion grub screw is definitely tough. And then even getting the pinion off here, you gotta like pry it off. So just be aware that that stuff is on there very good. Pop the old motor out of this pinion. We will throw it on the new motor. Now we're not going to tighten it all the way because we're probably going to need to adjust it. We're going to get flush the shaft. Snug it enough. Get our motor mount back on here. Let's see, how do we want this sitting? We want the motor's wires coming out the side a little bit. Which side? This side? Probably this side. Okay. We should just be able to throw them right back into the same slots. See where we line up on our shaft. It looks like, just compared to before, I think our shaft is a little shorter because I feel like the pinion before I was able to reach the grub screw here. So I think we might need to actually pull this back off and slide our pinion back out. Oh yeah, we're not even close. Not even close. All right. So just know that your shaft on the Komodo 10 is a little shorter than the stock shaft. So actually, let's go ahead and just do this. We'll throw the motor mount on first. Let's see how it lines up. Much better. Could even bring it forward just a little more, I think. See that? So we'll go ahead and bring it forward just a little bit more. Alrighty. Alright, should be good. Go ahead and spin it around here so you can see. Okay. think we're all right. We'll go ahead and put our cap back on, like so. And our 2 screws. It's as simple as that, guys. 4 screws. Super, super simple. Now, because this motor is uncensored, it does not really matter the order in which you plug in your motor wires. If your truck's going backwards, you just switch 2 of the plugs and it'll go the correct direction. I'm just going to put them the way they're coming out, straight to the ESC. All right. Now, before I get this all mounted, I do want to kind of plug things in and make sure stuff is working. We're going to end up using, we picked up these cheapy receivers from FlySky off AliExpress, trying to bind them with some of our minis. They didn't bind with the minis, but they did bind with our FMS 1/6 Jimny. So we're going to use this remote for now with this receiver. It does give us a channel 3 and a 4, which is fantastic. And yeah, so we're gonna try this for now. Eventually, we'll probably put it over onto a Noble or maybe the Furitek Avatar. We just need to get more receivers for both of those guys. So this is what we have now. It's what we're gonna run with. All right, guys, we're all hooked up. Got our dig in our channel 4 and servo hooked up and ESC hooked up. We're plugged in. I'm gonna go ahead and hold the bind button, turn on. We're blinking. Power up. Now with these, you sometimes have to reset the receiver or the transmitter. So we'll just turn it off, turn it back on. Oh, there we go. I always have it sitting off the ground just in case something crazy happens whenever you do new ESC. Just in case things aren't calibrated right and it starts going, you don't want the tires touching. So I have it sitting up. That looks good. Oh, and looks like we got go. Oh, looks like our dig. There we go. Also looks like we're going backwards, so we can swap that. Like I said, all you got to do, you can change it on your transmitter, obviously, but you can also just swap one of the wires here. We'll do the 2 outside. And just swap them around. And turn her back on. And now we should be good to go forward. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Every time we reset, our dig servo is always in the same position. So maybe we'll switch it to our channel 3. Man, she's got some juice. All right, well, that's definitely a thing. I dig that. We just need to get it mounted in. All right, I think we're good, guys. Let's get it back together and then we'll go drive it. We're going to be taking this guy with us to Proline, so I'm going to get video at Proline. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have driving video at Proline, and you'll see the video then. So the next thing I also wanted to show before we ran it is the Furicar app. Make sure if you've already got the app from one of the mini crawlers or another previous product that you update the app. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to update our app. You can see all their version history and everything that's changed over the times. And then once your app is updated, go ahead and open that app up. You'll be presented with the Furicar app. Make sure your truck is plugged in and on. You'll see it pop up on the screen. You can then select it. And you're presented with the first screen. Let's go through the settings in the top right corner. This allows you to update your firmware, change the password of your Bluetooth device so that other people can't just connect. Also, your car type, crawler or monster truck. Your motor type, brushed or brushless. Which motor you're running. We're actually running this one, so we were set to the incorrect motor here. But again, this is our first time in the app for this ESC. And then we have the auto sleep mode and auto shutdown mode. The auto sleep mode basically lets you set a time, and if you don't put any inputs after that amount of time, it will go into what's called sleep mode, which basically saves power and whatnot. It won't be responsive until you hold reverse for 2 seconds, and then it'll wake it back up. And then auto shutdown, obviously after that amount of time, the whole truck actually just shuts down. The temperature protection, when it will shut down in case it's too hot. Let's go ahead and do this just in case. We'll do like 194. And then current protection if it pulls too many amps. So we'll just turn that on as well. You can also change the Bluetooth name. You can change the name. So we'll go ahead and put Bronco in here. And there we go. And let's just check our update on our firmware. We have the Python X for the RC car Bronco. Looks like we are all up to date. 1.5 is the newest, and we cannot update it. You can see the update at the bottom is grayed out. So that's good. We'll go to the first screen on the telemetry. This shows your telemetry of your vehicle. And so here you can see when you give it throttle or reverse, and you can see the linear curve of that throttle curve, essentially. You can also see your voltage, your amperage, your temperature, throttle, and RPM. Pretty cool. All live on the fly. Our running settings, which was the very first screen we saw, has the different modes: forward with brake, forward with reverse with brake, and then just forward reverse. So we are on forward reverse. Our low voltage cutoff is 3.3 volts. Your servo output, 8.4. Rotation direction, if you're going backwards, when you give it throttle, you can obviously, like we showed earlier, switch the cable, or you can change it in here. Your startup power. And then you have your max forward, max reverse, max brake, the amount of drag brake. We need some drag brake in here. We'll put that guy up to, let's put it at like 40%. We'll know when we're out driving it. The nice thing is while we're driving, we can pull it out and change that stuff. The locked brake, so when you're at full brake, if you're doing forward brake reverse, how much brake it's actually giving at full lock. The power FOC, so field-oriented control. Let's go ahead and go into throttle next. This is where you calibrate your throttle. So if you have a remote and the trigger is just a little bit off, you might see it like this, sitting at like a low number. That means the accuracy of your physical remote is off, but we're going to go ahead and calibrate it anyway. So start calibration, yes. Again, always be sure your vehicle is off the ground when you're doing this. Set zero speed, that means don't touch the throttle, say okay. Then give it max throttle, say okay. And then max brake or max reverse, same thing, just max reverse essentially, okay. And then your throttle is going to be set. So now it's going to know what your true zero is, what your max forward is, and your max reverse. Okay. And then we're good to go. Okay. Your neutral forward. That's basically at what point does the trigger actually begin to take in the input. So you can give it throttle without, so if we go to the super wide, you can see I can give it a lot of throttle. We're at 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 before the motor starts going. Right at 22. You can kind of hear it. And if I do narrow, it'll start going almost immediately at 2, 3. There you go. Okay. So that'll change basically your dead zone. You have your punch, your neutral brake, and then your low speed control. Last is going to be our, well, not last, next to last is going to be our throttle curve. And this is where you can actually change your throttle curve. If you want it to be a little bit more actually curved, you can do that. And then you can also have it mirror to the reverse, or you can set your own reverse. Okay. And then the battery, this is to calibrate your battery. So you can check your voltage on your battery and then make sure that the ESC is properly reading your battery voltages. Okay. And this is how you adjust that. You basically could just turn it down or turn it up. You can go all the way to a negative 100 or 100. I'm not 100% sure on how this works. If you know more about the battery voltage settings stuff in here, why don't you put it in the comments below and I will pin it. And then if you hit the truck in the corner, the little red truck, it just gives you all your device information and you can disconnect. All right, pretty simple. Let's get out there and run it. One quick thing I wanted to point out before we ran it. When you're going real slow, you can probably hear it, right? It almost sounds like it's cogging when you're going real slow. You hear that kind of almost grindy sound. That is a sort of cogging, but what's interesting is when you have resistance on it, that cogging goes away, or that sound goes away. Okay, so it's super smooth and quiet when it's on the ground. But yeah, when there's no resistance on it, it does kind of have an interesting kind of cogging effect sound. But again, it's not actually cogging, because you can see, or maybe it is, but it's not there when there's resistance on the tires. And it's not even much resistance. It doesn't even need much, just a little bit. I love it. All right, let's go drive it.
All the kids are up here getting their raffle tickets. No. RC's only. There is a count for all tomorrow. Class 2 only. Tech starts at tech and drivers meeting at 10 a.m. The course will be open. The moving grounds are open tomorrow.
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. We had a blast out there running this guy. It's super smooth. The ESC is just fan-freaking-tastic. The motor is also just killer. I like that there's the two different options in KV. And again, it's just the ease of use with the app and all that kind of stuff. It just makes me love Furitek. That's my favorite thing about Furitek, is it's just super easy to use and set up on the fly. You can make changes through the app. I really hate having to connect a dongle or a cable, or having to like pull the truck open, unplug things, restart things, like read the ESC, and then it gives you all your settings. Then you have to change your settings, then write the ESC. Like, I hate that stuff. I absolutely hate it. And if you have, you're probably sitting there saying, well, it's not that bad, I do it all the time. But you probably haven't used the Furitek app that you can change it on the fly also. So that's a game changer in my opinion. And it makes it just so much easier to tune when you can literally be driving it, tune it, drive it, tune it. And you don't, like, you can do it out while you're crawling, right? Like, you can't do that if you have to plug it into a computer, or if you have to read the app, write the app over and over and over. It just ruins the experience of crawling. But this guy, you can literally pull it out while you're crawling and just adjust things, which is just too freaking cool. Definitely check out this ESC if you're looking for a new 1/10 ESC. If you've got a mini crawler, I mean, hands down, check out the Furitek stuff. Super awesome. You know, we rep Furitek pretty hard here because we love it. I tell people all the time, like, if I didn't love the brand so much, not the brand, right? Like the product. If I didn't love the product so much, I wouldn't rep it so hard. It's just, it's too good. And, you know, them coming into the 10 scale game is a big deal, I think. Hopefully they keep pushing that a little bit. Again, we're mostly into minis, but they pretty much dominate the mini market. And I'm not going to lie, I would love to see some good competition come out. It just hasn't yet. Every ESC that comes out, there's been like 3 different new ESCs from big companies, and they all are very lackluster in their usability. I mean, once you get them set up, they're pretty decent. But they're such a pain to get set up, and they're not adjustable, like, on the fly at all. There's a lot of work to make them work, right? They're not user-friendly, and we are very much about, I mean, we can do it. We have no issue soldering and making things work, getting motor connectors, cutting wires off motors. I don't care. We'll do it. But that is not the typical RCer. Most people, believe it or not, just want plug and play. They just want to be able to plug stuff in and have it work. That's why the T-Word company is so successful, is because they're easy. Everything just works, and all their proprietary crap just works. You plug it in and you know it's going to work. So I love that Furitek, while not being proprietary and, you know, crazy like the T company, they do make their stuff very easy to use. And I think that helps grow the hobby. And that's what it's about, right? Growing the hobby. Anyway, I'm kind of on a rant here, kind of on a soapbox. Anyway, I just wanted to express why I love the Furitek stuff so much, and why being user-friendly is so important. Because most people out there really do need something they can just plug in and go. And even if they don't need it, it's so nice. It's so nice to be able to just adjust, plug in, your motor goes in, your wires go in, no soldering, nothing. It's just, it's sweet. It's pretty cool. Anyway, guys. All right. I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed what you watched, please be sure to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. The subscribe button is just a click for you, but it means the world to me. We're trying to hit that 10K subscriber mark soon. We'll do a giveaway. We did a giveaway at 5K. We'll do another giveaway at 10K. And yeah, we also have a bunch of swag if you want to support that way. Or you can become a channel member, where you get to see all the videos that we post early. We basically post them up for channel members first with no ads, so you don't have to watch the ads. Especially on the longer videos, it can really be beneficial because some of the hour-long videos have a couple ad spots in there. And so this gets rid of that. Also gives you priority replies to comments and a bunch of other little benefits depending on what tier you go. So check out being a channel member if you really want to help support. It helps us a ton. We do get some sponsored stuff, but a lot of the stuff we have to buy. So that definitely helps us. Anyway, guys, get out there, build something awesome, build a car, build a course, build a community, and then smash it, crash it, and bash it. But don't break the expensive parts. Peace.